Hi, my name is Jasmine Gaston, and I am a second year medical student at a Caribbean's med school. And I'm going to talk to you about why med school. So, if you're thinking about choosing med school and you're out of college already, maybe you didn't have as good the undergraduate GPA you wanted, and or if you're a PA or EMS and you're thinking about doing med school, this is what the video is for. So, first of all, I want to say that I think you need to really like science, love science. Not every science, like chemistry, biochem. Well, actually, I do like biochem, but I know not every single science. So, biology, you should enjoy biology. Like you should thoroughly enjoy it. Not saying it should be hard for you. Maybe you failed it or whatever, but I'm saying that it's a big portion of what you're going to be doing. So, it's not a science light, it's science heavy, and not physics. Like you're gonna have to take physics, but you don't have to keep worrying about it. After the MCAT, you don't have to keep worrying about it. So anyway, you need to like science, or at least biology, anatomy, and do well in those classes. So if you are an undergrad right now, make sure that you are setting yourself apart from your friends that are not pre-med. You're not going to be able to party the same way. You can maybe do one day a weekend or something, but you're going to have to be up Saturday morning studying all day. It's just a fact of life. You're not going to be able to do what your, journalism or what other people do. Using. So you need to make good grades. I'm not going to go too into that because again, I want this to be for students that are already out of college. But if you you need to get good grades in those classes. And if you do poorly and don't have a high GPA, you can either do a post-bac program or you can go. I had a friend who went to and they just took those undergraduate classes again at a university. I think they might have called it. I think she got like a second major. I think that's what she did at another university. So you can do that as well. I think that it needs to be from what I have seen. I'll tell you about what I did, but it needs to be they want that undergraduate GPA up if you're trying to get into a U.S. medical school. So do post-bac or go back to an undergraduate school and get a second GPA. I mean, it's a second major. But I think people might not have money for that because I don't know if you can get funding for that. So that was my thing. I got a scholarship to get my master's. So I'll go ahead and go into that. So graduate school versus med school. I know that some people got several messages wondering if they should do they're thinking about PhD versus med school. So I got my master's. Took me 2 years to finish the classes, and then I still had I had one more year that I had to finish my research. And so it's basically you have master's, PhD on this end, and then physicians have to think there's like a spectrum. And so here we have DNA, this, the molecular structure of things, the nitty gritty details in the cell or whatever. That's your master's, PhD. And then you have a patient. And so there's like a spectrum. I was explaining this way in one of my review courses that I'm taking right now. And, you have someone that comes in with a cough and headaches and their stomach hurts. Okay, so then you're thinking, what body system is that? Okay, am I neuro? Am I thinking respiratory? Whatever. Then what tissue is that? Or what body part? Whatever. Then what cell? Then what DNA? What structure in that cell went wrong? And then what DNA codes for the structure that went wrong? So doctors have to think this whole entire spectrum. So they have to know the why to everything. They're trained to know the why and why to the why. It's crazy. And so PhDs and your master's, because you're going to be over here on this end with the actual science of it. And then we have to tiptoe down the line all the way to get back to why Miss, Sally came in with her back hurting and she's, whatever. So we have to translate all that. So other professions that maybe you are in, like nursing and PA, EMS, you don't have to go along that whole spectrum. And so that's why it's so hard, right? Why med school is so hard. And so anyway, so that was what brings me to my next point is basically it's not, I hear I'm not smart enough for that. You do need to like school and like to study. It shouldn't make you want to vomit, because you're going to be studying all the time. And so it's about endurance and perseverance. Perseverance, yeah. So it's about endurance and persevering and basically being able to handle a lot of stress and a lot of volume. So because we have to know that whole spectrum, we have to know the DNA and the clinical and the this and that. So every aspect of it. So basically, it's I feel like the people. Right, yeah. So feel like the people who have a hard time is just basically not being able to work hard enough and succumb under pressure, basically. So if you are not really ready to be kind of miserable sometimes and uncomfortable, then this is not for you. And of course, when you actually become a physician, you're going to be working long, hard hours and not getting much sleep sometimes, and I mean, not all your whole entire life. And I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's a very demanding, stressful career. That's why physicians make more money. So anyway, yeah. So that leads me to my next point is having a good support system. So making sure that if you are going into this and you have a spouse or a significant other, they need to be under the understanding that you aren't going to be able to be there 100%. Well, not even 100%. I'm sorry. Like you're not there at all. So you can't come home and have a 2-hour conversation about your day or listen to their day at all. Really, you're just a roommate that is just eats and sleeps. Okay, I'm not saying like you can work out together, you can go eat. There are things you can do, and then after the test, it's on and popping. After each test, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Have your fun, but like you need someone that is very mature in that way and very like they don't even go there with you. That's what I see a lot of people how they might drop out or have problems because, and even if you have kids, like you have your support system and you have your way, your routine that things are set up, how you're going to do it. And, you stick with that. So, and that being said, you don't have room and time for drama. You don't have 2 or 3 hours to be on the phone because your boyfriend broke up with you. Like you don't, like if he ain't in now, like go ahead on and you cut it, you know what I'm saying? Like go ahead on because you don't have time to, you'll fail. You know what I'm saying? So I'm speaking loosely when I say that, but so I already have that set up, and if there are already people that are in your life as of now that are already being negative about you going to medical school, they're not on your team. They're not going to be, and that it might be your mother, it might be your sister, whoever. That person, first of all, your spouse has to be on your team. Like your mom or whoever, they don't have to, but your spouse, they gotta, because that's like your second half. That's who's going to help you through this, or else they're either going to bring you down. They're either going to build you up or bring you down. So it's better to be alone or have someone that's good on your team. So, but what I mean by that is that saying that you can have a friend, you can keep that friend, or if it's your mom or something, but just don't go to them. That's not your support system, if that makes sense. So if they're already being negative and, whatever, I would not count that in. And the last thing I want to say is just about money. Like it's just the same as undergrad as far as financial aid. And you're going to have to take out, you're probably going to have to take out those loans. But it's just the same as undergrad. And you're going to go into a career where you're going to be able to pay it back, to afford to pay it back. And I'll talk about Caribbean Medical School in my next video. There are scholarships. Like I'm applying to a scholarship right now that I should find out by the end of the month. But was based on my GPA and once I start school. So there are scholarships, but they're really hard. They're not something that you probably wouldn't be watching this video if you're probably like already a genius in med school. So you probably wouldn't be watching this video for the one, I guess, as far as maybe full rides or anything like that. I don't even think that exists. I'm not sure. But like for undergrad, I had a full ride to undergrad, but I don't think that type of thing is easy to come by or even, a common thing. You can comment or correct me if I'm wrong. But anyway, so as far as other options, I should, after this video, doing a video on the Caribbean Medical School. So you can listen to that. And if you have any questions, please comment. I guess this is my first video, so I hope you guys like it. And I basically just did it because I kept getting a lot of questions and I just really wanted to just, do something where I didn't have to text the same thing every million times. I'm sorry, it's 10 minutes. I wanted it to be 5. I think it's a little too. My fiance said I should have made it 5, but I think it was a little hard. So anyway, I'll see you all in the next video.